Hello students, welcome back for the chapter Reaching the Age of Adolescence. So in the last class of this chapter, we learned about what is meant by puberty, what is meant by adolescence, and we also came to know about the changes brought about during the stage of puberty, and we also came to know about the secondary sexual characters which were brought about and which happened due to the release of the hormones in our body. So moving on and continuing to that topic, in today's class we will discuss about the role of hormones in initiating reproductive function. That is, we will discuss in this topic, we will discuss about what is meant by hormones and how these hormones will help in the functioning of the reproduction. Okay. So that we are going to discuss, and while discussing about the hormones and their role, we will also come to know a term called target site. We will see what is meant by target site and how does these hormones reach to the target site and how they will play their role to initiate the target site. So moving on to further, we will also discuss about the reproductive phase of life in humans. Okay, the overall reproductive processes that happens in the human life, which includes especially in women, which includes mainly menstruation, menarche and menopause. We will see the differences between menstruation, menarche and menopause. All these three processes, they will happen only after reaching the age of puberty. So we will see the differences between these three stages which will occur in human life. So next, further we will also discuss about how is the sex of the baby determined. We will see how can we determine whether the baby is going to be a boy or girl, and to determine the sex of the baby, chromosomes play a very much important role. So the sex of the baby will be based on the role of the chromosomes, and how they play the important role in the determination of the sex of the baby by the chromosomes, that we will also see. So continuing this, we will also see hormones other than the sex hormones in humans. It's not like we humans have only the hormones which are related to the sex. That means which are related only to the sexual reproduction. Apart from the sex hormones, there are many more hormones in our human body also. So we will see and we will discuss about those hormones also which are present inside our body apart from the sex hormones. So next, and in the last, so till now it will be related to our human body only. Okay, so till to that 13.7 subtopic, it will be the discussion related to the hormones, their roles and the different phases that hormones will be crossed through, and which will be only in humans. So afterwards we will also see the role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frogs. We will also see the role of the hormones in the life history of the insects and frogs. How the hormones will change the life cycle of the insects and the frogs. So in today's class we are going to discuss about these subtopics. So take out your explanation book, note down the points and have a clear-cut concentration.
This is the role of hormones in initiating reproductive functions. So before we enter into that, let's see what are hormones. The changes which occur at adolescence, that is the changes at puberty and the secondary sexual characters, all these changes are controlled by hormones. Now what are hormones? Hormones are the chemical substances or the secretions from endocrine gland or the endocrine system. And these endocrine glands, they release these chemical substances or the hormones directly into the bloodstream. So they are also termed as ductless gland. In males, at the onset of puberty, the testis releases the male hormone called as testosterone. And the testosterone, it causes changes in the boy that we have just learned, like facial hair, broadening of shoulders, etc. And in girls, once they reach puberty, the ovaries begin to produce the female hormone called as estrogen, which makes the breast develop. And the milk secreting glands or the mammary glands, they also develop inside the breast. Now the production of these sex hormones, which were the sex hormones? the testosterone produced from the testes and estrogen produced from the ovaries is under the control of another hormone secreted from an endocrine gland called as the pituitary gland. That is, the pituitary gland, which is present inside the brain, it controls all the activities of most of the hormone secreting gland, including the production of sex hormones. Let's see how. As we studied that the endocrine glands, they release hormones into the bloodstreams, they reach a particular body part called as a target site. And this target site responds to the hormone. That is, the hormones from the pituitary, they stimulate the testes and ovaries, which is a target site, to release testosterone in male and estrogen in female. And these hormones from the pituitary are released in the bloodstream and they reach the parts of the body, that is in the testis and ovary, and they secrete sex hormones which are responsible for the male and female sexual characters. That is, what they do is that after these hormones are secreted, they stimulate the changes in body, such as the facial hair or the development of breast, etc. And furthermore, these sex hormones are under the control of the hormones from the pituitary glands, one which makes the ova mature in the ovaries and the sperm form the testis. Now let's see the next topic, which is the reproductive phase of life in humans. Adolescence becomes capable of reproduction when their testes and ovaries develop and they begin to produce gametes. What were gametes? Gametes were sex cells, that is the sperm and the egg, which are produced from the reproductive organ testes and ovaries. We have studied about gametes in chapter 9. If you have any doubt, please refer the corresponding slides of that video. Now, the reproductive phase in male, that is, it starts at around 12 years and the male reproductive organs, they develop. That is, the penis and testes develop and the sperms are produced. And the reproductive phase, they last till the old age. Whereas in the case of females, the reproductive phase, it starts at the age of 10 to 12 years, that is the age of puberty, and it generally lasts till the age of 45 to 50 years. And at the onset of puberty, that is at 10 to 12 years, the ova, the egg, it begins to mature and the one ovum is released by one of the ovaries once in about 28 to 30 days. Now during this period, the wall of the uterus, it becomes thick so as to receive this egg. And in case if it is fertilized, what happens? The fertilized egg, they embed in the wall of the uterus and they develop into an embryo. And then the embryo further develops into fetus and this results in pregnancy. Now, if fertilization does not occur, the released egg and the thickened lining of the uterus along with its blood vessels are shut off, and this causes bleeding in women, which is called as menstruation, and it is also called as periods in regular terms. Now, this menstruation, it occurs once in about 28 to 30 days, and this cycle that repeats every month is called as menstrual cycle. At first it would be irregular, but after a period of time it becomes regular. Now the first menstrual flow, it begins at puberty, and that first menstruation is termed as menarche. And at the age of 45 to 50, the menstrual cycle stops, and that stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. Now the menstrual cycle is controlled by hormones. That is, the pituitary glands, which is present inside the brain, it sends hormone signals back and forth with the ovaries, and then these signals, it get the ovaries and uterus ready for pregnancy. Now the next topic is, how is the sex of the baby determined? Now how can we say that a baby is a boy or a girl? We have studied that every cell contains a nucleus, and the nucleus contains thread-like structures called as chromosomes, which carry genes and which helps in transferring the characters from a parent to a child. And these chromosomes, which is present inside the fertilized egg, helps in determining the sex of the baby. Now what were chromosomes? Chromosomes are thread-like structures present inside the nucleus of every cell. And all human beings, they have 23 pair of chromosomes in the nuclei of their cells. And 2 chromosomes out of these are called as sex chromosomes, and they are named as X and Y. The female, they have 2 X chromosomes, and the male they have one X and one Y chromosome, and the gametes, egg and sperm cells, they have only one set of chromosomes. So we have already studied that in fertilization, a male sperm cell, it meets a female unfertilized egg to form a fertilized egg. And this one fertilized egg contains 23 pair of chromosomes. Now, the unfertilized egg always have one X chromosome. But sperms, they are of two kinds. It contains an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. So when a sperm containing X chromosome, it fertilizes the egg containing an X chromosome, what happens? The zygote will have two X chromosomes, developing it into a female child. Now, if the sperm contributes a Y chromosome and it fuses with an egg having an X chromosome, the zygote will have one X and one Y chromosome, developing it into a male child. Hence, we can say that the sex chromosomes of the father, that is X and Y chromosome, it determines the sex of an unborn baby. Now, the next topic is hormones other than sex hormones. So, we already studied that the hormones are the chemical substances secreted from the endocrine glands directly into the bloodstreams. And all the production of these hormones are under the control of the master gland called as pituitary gland, which is present inside the brain. We also saw that the hormones which are secreted by the pituitary gland, they stimulate the testes which is present inside the males and the ovaries present inside the female to produce the respective sex hormones. Now, apart from pituitary, testes and ovaries, there are other endocrine glands in the body such as the thyroid gland which is present inside the throat, the adrenal gland which is present in the top of the kidney like a cap-like structure, and finally the pancreas which is a leaf-like gland. It is both exocrine as well as endocrine gland. Now let's see briefly what all are these endocrine glands. The first one is thyroid. Now thyroid, it secretes the hormone called as thyroxine, which controls the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. And if the thyroid gland, they do not produce the hormone called as thyroxine, then the person would suffer from the disease of a thyroid gland called as goiter. The person suffering would have a big and a bulging throat. Now let's see the next endocrine gland, which is the pancreas. The pancreas, they secrete two types of hormones, insulin and glucagon. Now, if the pancreas do not produce the hormone insulin in sufficient quantities, the person would suffer from diabetes, as insulin controls the sugar level of the body. Now let's see the next endocrine gland, which is the adrenal gland. The adrenal glands secrete hormones which maintain the correct salt balance in the blood. The adrenals, they produce a hormone called as adrenaline, and this adrenaline helps the body to adjust to stress when one is very angry, embarrassed or worried. That is, the adrenaline, it controls our feelings. Now, as we said earlier, the thyroid and the adrenal glands, they secrete their hormones when they receive orders from the pituitary gland through its hormones. The pituitary gland, they also secrete a growth hormone which is necessary for the normal growth of the person. And if the pituitary gland do not produce this growth hormone in sufficient amount, that would result in dwarfness as well. So we already saw the role of hormones in human beings. Now let's see the role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frog. So this metamorphosis or the transformation in insects is controlled by insect hormones. In a frog, it is controlled by the hormone called as thyroxine, which is produced by thyroid. And the thyroxine production requires the presence of iodine in water. If the water in which the tadpoles are growing do not contain sufficient iodine, the tadpoles cannot become adults.
Okay student, that was about today's class. The further content that is about the reproductive health, that we shall continue in the next class. Thank you.